is Tommaso Pagano, and I am doing my music lesson plan for Music 214. And today our lesson plan is entitled Continents and Oceans, and it is for grade level 3. And the focus for today is geography is the study of natural features of the Earth's surface, including topography, climate, soil, etc., and man's response to them. And the objectives for today will be: the student will identify and label the 4 cardinal directions on a map. The student will identify and label the 7 continents on a map. And the student will identify and label the 5 oceans on a map. The materials we'll use today are a colorful world map for each student, colors, either crayons or markers, song lyric sheets for each student, and each student will have a social studies textbook. The national standards achieved in this lesson are singing alone and with others, a varied repertoire of music. Bloom's taxonomy, the levels used are knowledge, comprehension, and application. The differentiated learning used are auditory, verbal linguistic, visual spatial, music, and interpersonal. Classroom strategies used are writing and reading, graphs, charts, and maps, and the curriculum correlation is music, social studies with the subtopic of geography and art. And to begin the lesson, I will ask the students, I will show a world map with blank continents, like so, on an overhead. And I will ask the students a question, and the question will be to discuss with their neighbors where they might find Nebraska on this world map. And then I will give the students 1 minute to discuss that, and they will do that. And then once the 1 minute is up, I will ask the students questions like, we will go over where they think Nebraska would be on the map, and then also I would ask them what continents are and what oceans are, and I will ask for volunteers and random students to answer those questions. And then in the process we will go over the continents and the oceans, and we will label them on the said overhead sheet. And then I will introduce the songs that we will be singing. We have 3 songs today, one for the cardinal directions, one for the oceans, and one for the continents. The cardinal directions song is sung to Twinkle Twinkle. The continent song is sung to Muffin Man, and the oceans is sung to My Body. Those 3 songs we'll go over individually, one at a time. The first one is Cardinal Directions, Twinkle Twinkle, and what I will do is I will hand out the music sheets for all of those, and we will go over the song line by line, and I will sample the song for the record. And the song is, if you like the oceans best, travel east or travel west. If you like the cold and snow, north is the way you should go. If you like the hot, hot sun, head down south for lots of fun. If you like the oceans best, travel east or travel west. And you can repeat it if you want. And then that would be to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We'd go over each line, and then I would also point out each direction on the map. I have it labeled on the example that I will show later in the lesson. And then the ocean song is sung to My Bonnie. Start. Oh, I can name all the oceans. Yes, I can name all the seas. Oh, I can name all the oceans. So please will you sing them with me? Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, and Arctic. Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean, and Arctic. Oh, I can name all the oceans. Yes, I can name all the seas. Oh, I I can name all the oceans, so please will you sing them with me. And so that's the sample of the Oceans song, sung to My Bonnie. And then the third song that we will go over is the Continents song, which is the Muffin Man song, like this with the sample. Do you know the continents, the continents, the continents? Do you know the continents all around the world? There's Asia and Africa, North and South America, Australia, Antarctica, and Europe too. Yes, I know the continents, the continents, the continents. Yes, I know the continents all around the world. And those are the three songs that we'll be singing for the lesson plan. And then following the lesson plan, actually during the songs, I will be pointing out, like I mentioned earlier, I will be pointing out all the oceans, all the continents, and all the directions, and we will discuss each of those after we have learned all the songs. And then as a reinforcement activity, following the learning of the songs and discussing the continents, oceans, and cardinal directions, I will have the students do a little artwork. What I'll give them is the blank world map with lines placed strategically on the map to signify where they should write the names of the continents, the oceans, and also the directions. So I will show them my example and what I would expect theirs to look similar to when they are doing that. And that is the culminating activity that we will do. For the rubric, I have decided on three criteria. Each one is called, one is called the identification and labeling of the continents. And the second one is identification and labeling of the oceans. And the third one is identification and labeling of the cardinal directions. To earn a 4 out of 4 points for each of those, the student will identify and label all continents with clarity and legibility for the continents. For the oceans, the student will identify and label all oceans with clarity and legibility. For the directions, the student will identify and label all directions with clarity and legibility. Again, those are to earn 4 out of 4 points. To earn 3 out of 4 points, for the continents, the student will identify and label the continents with only 1 or 2 errors. The same thing for the oceans. The student will label all oceans correctly, and it may not be as legible as the 4-point. And the cardinal directions is also the same as the oceans, where the student will label all the directions correctly, but not be as clear or as legible. For 2 points, for the continents, the student will identify and label the continents with 3 to 4 errors. And for the oceans, the student will identify and label the oceans with 1 error. And the same goes for the directions. The student will identify and label the directions with 1 error. Again, that's for 2 points. For 1 point, for the continents, the student will identify and label 2 or fewer continents correctly. For the oceans, the student will identify and label the oceans with 2 or more errors. And for the cardinal directions, the student will identify and label the directions with 2 or more errors. And that is the rubric, and that will conclude the lesson. Thank you very much.